My guest today is one of the 16 players that will attend the ZRT playoffs in Strasbourg, France. So why not bring him on the podcast, talk about his experience with the cup, but also get a chance to know his history in the game and what happened before he became this sort of star in the ZRT, what to say, universe, if you want to use that word. But Scrappy, first and foremost, how are you, man? And welcome to the podcast.
Hey, I'm doing fine, and thank you for having me here.
So I said that you nowadays, maybe being one of the biggest streamers in Trackmania, you are one of the names that is brought up the most these days. But if there are people out there who might not really know who you are, can you say, what do we need to know about you?
Yeah, my name is Scrapie. I am from Belgium. I'm 21 years old. I played Trackmania for 12 years, played in a lot of teams like Penta Sports, PKD, Reflex, PAX, and so on.
Hmm.
Um,
And when you
yeah.
go back to your first impressions of the game, I always ask people what was your way into it, because it seems to be a different story for almost different people. What was your way into it, and how did you get into Trackmania?
Well, my story is, I discovered the game completely random. My mother bought for Christmas in 2006. She bought a TV, I don't know how to say it, like program,
Yep.
like a magazine. And there was a disc in it with 10 games on it, one of them being Trackmania Nations ESWC. And that's how I first discovered Trackmania. I only played offline for about 2 or 3 years, like only the single player in Nation. And at first the game didn't really get to me. I wasn't playing much, but my neighbor always wanted to play this game. So I kept on playing, and when I discovered the online mode, yeah, it got better and got more addicted, and I played a lot more than before.
Would you say that you have any breaks in your Trackmania career, or has it been from that day until today some sort of just one go, I play almost every week, every month or so on? Or have you had some longer breaks in your career?
I had a break in 2012, I think, where it was around the time where the game changed from TMNF to TM2, the competitive scene and all that. And I think it was actually before the release of TM2 that I didn't play for half a year.
What was the reason why? Was it just not fun anymore? Was there other stuff in life that took up the time? What was the reason why you decided to take this little break?
No, I think my real life friends got more into gaming at this time, and I enjoyed playing with them, and they don't play Trackmania at all. Also, I was in difficult situations with the teams stuff, I think, back then. I wasn't really sure what to do, and I wasn't spending much time on the game at all. I was more playing with friends in League of Legends or Counter-Strike at that time.
Okay. But like I say, nowadays you are known for being one of the best players in ZrT, and you have been that for a long time. You played second in the second cup as well, but you're also a good tech player, which is the most competitive style if you look at the history of Trackmania. Was that the style that you first discovered that you can actually be good in the game, or was there another style that you first discovered and then eventually moved over to tech?
I think, like, in the beginning, I always played mini maps, but not necessarily tech, just anything. And when I did the swap from the old game, the TMN ESWC game, I actually swapped really late. I swapped in 2010 to TMNF. And I got into the team called Elite with Royal and Reno and these guys, and we played Nadeo maps only. But pretty fast I got recruited by a Belgian team called MD, More Dimension. And that's where I got into tech. And first week I got recruited. They played a match against Dignitas with, or was it Dignitas? I think it was Dignitas with Kayan at least in it. Yeah. And that really got me motivated to play tech competitions back then. And yeah, so it started off.
So it was not necessarily that you liked the style, it was more that was where the competition took place, or did you actually like the style more than, let's say, the Nadeo maps that you hunted with Elite?
No, it was just in Trackmania. This is just the style that my team played, so I played this. I didn't necessarily prefer tech. I mean, I've always been an all-round player. Anything. I started off a lot with full speed maps, but yeah, that's the style I'm the worst at the moment. But I always played nearly everything.
So you then went on from to join Planet Key Dynamics. Is there some teams between now joining your first competitive team in tech and Planet Key Dynamics? And if so, what are those teams?
I'm not. I think I was. It was. I was the first team I had was Fusion Gaming, TMN ESWC, where I left to Elite, to More Dimension, and then I'm not quite sure. I think it was Duck SP actually, which turned into, after split by the leaders, into Enthuse or something like that. And then we had the Alienware Cup. I think, was it? I'm not sure. At least, no, it was not Alienware. It was I don't remember the name actually. One tournament I performed. The Giant Cup, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Where I performed really good at, and then Renew got back to me. He was in Penta then, and wanted me to join them again because I left Elite kinda in a hurry or just didn't want to play anymore, and then I got back to them, and that's where I stayed for almost 4 or 5 years.
And what did you like the most about Tech then? Was it to play in the solo competitions like the Giant Cup? Was it to play team tournaments with Penta and then eventually Planet Key Dynamics?
I always had more motivation going into solo tournaments. The team tournaments, I mean, they always started with a group phase where I was super motivated, but it took so long that always when it got to the final stages, my motivation was just gone. And I almost never played in semis or quarterfinals in the team competitions because I just didn't have the motivation or to play, train.
Do you have any idea why you prefer playing solo competitions over team events, or?
Because solo competitions, I mean, mostly there were only 1-day competitions and so on, and you could prove yourself. You weren't reliant on others and stuff. I think I just kind of like not having to rely on others and just on my own skill. Could be from playing League of Legends and getting frustrated, but yeah.
But one of the biggest solo competitions, at least in the past, was the ESWC. Nowadays we don't have it anymore, but you participated in 2014 at least. How was that experience for you?
Everything was new for me. I've never been to a LAN event before. I was just 16. I'd never gone anywhere alone. And I traveled by train to Paris all on my own. No one with me, 16-year-old boy going to Paris. Meeting at a hotel with Ollie back then, Swiss guy, and with Miquattro as well. And it was such a impressive event for me. I mean, I was more focused on meeting people, enjoying myself than playing back then. I think it was also that year where I arrived at ESWC, and after the first match my controller broke down.
Oh really?
I was playing like the whole cover of the thumbstick. It was just all gone. I was playing on a raw stick back that didn't work otherwise. Yeah. That was a nice first LAN experience.
But did you have any goals going into that event, or did you know that, okay, this is gonna be such a different experience that I'm probably not gonna be able to play like I do at home?
Yeah, I didn't have expectations to go far in the tournament because I knew back then I also wasn't on the level to compete with the highest tech players for sure. They were a level above me. I mean, that year it was an invite-only tournament, so I got picked because I was the only Belgian guy applying, but yeah. I mean, I just enjoyed myself there. I think I was kind of trained for the event actually, but I didn't really prepare too much for it because I still had other stuff going on in my life.
Yeah, and then when you left Paris after this first experience with such a big event, was it that, okay, now I want to go back and maybe next time I want to do even better? Or was this, okay, this was cool to do one time, and now I tested it out, I can just sit home for the rest of my career?
No, I mean, it was super fun, and that's why I went the next year again. I qualified in the next year with all the drama against Javi Flyer.
Yep.
Who then eventually still got the spot and then didn't show up, and yeah, what just pure chaos that event, but it was fun again. I enjoyed going to those LANs.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, in what is ESWC, where you ended up being some sort of expert commentator at the official stream, or was that ESWC 2014?
I think that was the second year, so that was 2015. Where they asked around at the player base if somebody wanted to co-commentate with expertise and stuff, and I thought, yeah, why not? Let's try it out.
And how was that experience for you? Was it okay? Why did I say yes? Why did I end up here? Or was it okay? This is actually cool. This is something I can do in the future.
It was cool, yeah, but what also kind of like you couldn't really see how people react to it when you were there. Like, for example, like, there was no chat or anything. You had these burning big lights shining down on you. It was really hot sitting there, and you had this guy next to you who didn't even know what he was talking about. And obviously, I was only 17 still, and yeah, it was a bit awkward speaking with that person next to me, knowing nothing about the game. And I know he was the commentator, so I didn't want to interfere too much in what he was saying. But yeah. I had to hold back on some points, but yeah. Also, my English wasn't on the greatest level back then.
But what would we say was the biggest difference between attending for the first time and then attending the second time? Was there any differences, and if so, what was the biggest differences?
The biggest difference was knowing the pressure, being at a LAN, not having your silent environment, being at home, focusing, and all that stuff. I mean, the first year I didn't bother speaking to anyone when I had problems and stuff. Kept it to myself. The second year I knew, okay, this can't go on like this. I mean, I was sitting in the player area. Somebody was doing a photo shoot right in front of me, right over the PC with big lights, and I couldn't even see my screen anymore.
What?
So I had to go to the tournament admin to ask if I could play, if they could move, or I could move my PC or something, because I couldn't see my screen. They were doing a photo shoot for some event, I don't know what, but I couldn't see my screen anymore.
That's a nice world championship.
Yeah, but yeah, I was definitely more calm and not so under pressure.
And now that, did you eventually from there, did you have attended any offline events since then? And if so, what are those offline events?
No, I only attended the ZRT Cup. I didn't go to any Trackmania LANs.
Yeah.
Because GA is always a bad date for me. Like, it's always around Eastern, and it's always around the birthday, like my mother's birthday. And yeah, it's also a pretty tough region to reach for me, and I hate planning travels. So this is kind of stopping me from attending too many events. Like, all the planning, it's not my thing to plan stuff.
But would you say that nowadays you are sort of putting your tech career and tech skills on a hold, or are you still looking to maybe be one of the best players in the most competitive style in Trackmania?
No, I mean, I still play tech solo competitions when they come up, but there are not many. When there was TMGL, I didn't want to attend the qualifier back then because I didn't know where it was going with the TMGL thingy. And after that, yeah, I mean, I was kinda inactive all the time in the last years. I didn't play all day long. I mean, I didn't play every week and stuff. I was always having little breaks of 1-2 weeks, come back for another week, and then be inactive again for a week. It was sort of on and off thing. I didn't have interesting tourneys to play. I mean, so I still want to compete in tech, but the biggest thing in tech is still the team competition that are running permanently, and I didn't feel like committing for that because I always lost motivation sometimes.
But would you say that winning a tech event is the biggest thing you can do in Trackmania, or would you say that other styles should be more recognized? Maybe like Trackmania Grand League nowadays, maybe ZrT Cup is even bigger. What would you say is the most, what do you say, prestigious event to win in Trackmania?
It's still the top tech competition. I mean, the team competitions are kind of overseen. Like, people don't realize how good the players in the teams actually are. But yeah, the most prestige title is still winning a solo tech competition.
But let's go. I mean, you have your streams open. You said before this that you're tired about talking about your Zerator questions, but I don't think too many people know that you played second at the second event, if I recall correctly. How was that experience, and how did you find out about this cup in the first place?
I'm not even sure because I know I missed the first ZRT Cup completely. I've not heard of it. I've not seen it. I didn't even realize it was going on. But I think around the second time I was more getting into Twitch streams on Trackmania and stuff. So I actually noticed that there was something going on. I don't remember preparing for it at all. I don't remember playing it at all. I remember the last two rounds, like the semi and the final, but I don't remember anything else from the tournament. I know it was on, once a year, my school had this thing where the last, I mean, if you're in the last year of school,
Yep.
and they do a party at the school and stuff. No, not like that. I don't know how to call it.
Yeah, okay.
Like they try to collect money to then go travel for 1 week with the school and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
okay, yeah.
And yeah, it was that night where the ZRT Cup was held. That I remember, because after getting second in the final, I went straight to the party. But I was super proud. Oh, guys, I took second place in ZRT Cup. I took, I think it was 250 euros or something. Really big money for me back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then when you eventually found out about this cup, was you ready then, when is the next cup, and try to stay updated? Or did you not know how you play the third cup as well? Did you play it even?
I did not play any cup until last year. I didn't play I think there was 3 in between, or 2, I don't remember. But I didn't play them, because I knew about them. I played the maps, but I just didn't have time, because it was in the middle of my exams, and every single ZRT Cup was actually in the middle of my exams, only not the second one.
So what's the reason last year, that you had some breaks between exams, or did you just reschedule things and find space for it? Why did you attend last year then?
Because I changed my subject in university and I was starting a new year in October, so I had a lot of time to practice. Nothing to do with my life. So yeah.
And then last year, when you qualified to the eventual offline finals, it was one of my favorite moments when you beat the pack with some hundreds there. How was the last rounds for you? Was it, okay, maybe I'm not gonna make it, okay, I'm gonna make it? How was your mentality going into those last rounds of the quarterfinal in the battle against the pack?
Well, I remember the map being really weird, because nobody could do it regularly, the jump there was on the map. And so yeah, I just prayed every round, please make it. Looked at the CP afterwards and said, oh wait, it's Wingo in first? Okay, gonna chill for another round. And then when the last round came, I was on Discord with Ayako and went into, I mean, I saw the CP, I was ahead, but Peck overtook me because he had way more speed. And then we went into the last 2 turns and Ayako was just screaming, okay, full risk. And I went to, I mean, I couldn't go more speed through the last turn. I was so close to the border. And I jumped and was screaming, did I get him? Did I get him? And Ayako was like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, I don't know. And when I crossed the finish line, I just screamed all out. I think everyone in my house could hear that one, but yeah.
That has to be one of your favorite moments in your Trackmania career as well, right? It's so close, so intense, and so much on the line.
Yeah, I don't think there was any other moment where I was more hyped about the game, actually.
And then once you had to qualify yourself, was it, okay, now I have made it to the offline finals, that is just going to be a bonus? Or was it, okay, now I'm actually going to offline finals, this is a big stage, I'm going to show them I'm going to win it?
Well, actually, after that winning moment, I had not opened the game anymore until I was in Toulouse, to be honest. Really? So, yeah. I mean, I thought, yeah, I'm there. I got to the show, guys. I got a trip to Toulouse. I'm done. I didn't touch the game anymore after that moment.
Was it because maybe you felt that you had reached the goal, or was it just like, okay, I've done what I can do?
No, I couldn't bother playing these maps anymore.
Yeah, okay.
I think it was actually at that stage. Those maps, I mean, this year it's a little different. The maps are a little better. There are maps that are but it's a bit better. just didn't have the motivation to go play anymore, and then I went to lose. No pressure, nothing. I was enjoying my life there.
Yeah, how was it to be among the other Trackmania players then when you maybe go there with not the pressure, you can just enjoy the show, enjoy the players, join the sort of experience itself? How was it to attend last year and your first offline grand final in Trackmania, the ZRT Cup?
It was super fun, actually getting recognized at the airport already in Belgium. Or like I heard people speaking over ZRT and talk to them and stuff. And yeah, then after the fight, getting picked up, brought to a hotel, ask him where are the other players. Oh yes, you're the first one, and next players come in 4 hours, and I was like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, what did you do?
Well, I went around the streets in Toulouse, bought me something to drink and something to snack. I went back to the hotel room, watched TV. Nice fun.
Nice experience, yeah. But then when you didn't qualify to the grand final there, was you able to watch the grand finals? Did you have to sit backstage and watch it on the screen? How is it when you get knocked out of the tournament? Can you follow the final somewhat?
Yes. I was actually think during the final I was standing on the left side of the stage. It was just a big emptiness. I was standing there at the edge of the stage, leaning over, watching the show. I could see all the fans in front. Like I was at the staircase where the players went down the went off the stage when they were eliminated. And yeah, it was actually fun to see it from the side, like getting the close-up dance moves by I think it was Aurel in front of me.
Yeah, dirty dancing there.
But yeah, it was such a nice experience. The audience, the atmosphere in the arena was amazing.
Yeah, for people like myself who has never attended it, what is your biggest takeaway from an experience like it? What should people who might not have been there, what should they expect?
They just should expect a really great atmosphere of French people getting really, really, really hyped about the players and the game. It is insane. Yeah, I think the best thing about that event was actually because at the day, I think it was during the World Cup, and France was playing that day.
Yep.
While everyone was in the arena, and we were just backstage preparing and training, and all of a sudden these big screams, the whole floor vibrating because France scored a goal. And that was an experience for itself.
Yeah. But now that you go into this event, you have qualified yourself? Do you have the same mentality this year like last year? Okay, I'm not gonna touch the game, I have qualified myself. Or do you have now a different mentality and say maybe, okay, this year I want to see how good I can be. Maybe I can even win it together with my teammate.
This year I think I played a lot of hours already beforehand. So right now it's really pretty much similar to last year. I mean, the motivation is not quite there, but what's keeping me up this year is streaming it and having fun with my viewers and stuff. That just keeps me. I mean, it keeps me playing, and I don't practice a lot anymore. Maybe like an hour or two a day. Like before, I was training 6 to 8 hours a day. So you can only train so much on the maps. I mean, if I would keep up this training, I would be overtrained and expecting too much. The pressure would just be there, and if I fail, it would be really, really disappointing to me. And if I keep this level up now that I have right now, I'm sure I can beat everyone if I want to, and if I have a good day. But it also doesn't give me that much pressure that I'd say I have to beat everyone because I trained so much.
Yeah, people bring up that in different styles as well, this moment when you think you're overtrained or not, so you don't want to train more. How can you tell when you are reaching a point when you say, okay, now that if I train more, it's not eventually going to benefit me, it might even hurt me?
Well, it's especially if you're playing maps for like 2 hours straight and not improving your time or not even getting runs in. Like back when I was training tech, and it's still my style to train like this, I had an average of maybe 2 or 3 finishes an hour. I always trained being fast and not being regu, because with training getting faster, I was getting regu, but I never finished rounds in training. I remember having a training session on PKD server during the night with Zach or someone. I played 3.5 hours and I finished exactly 1 run, and that 1 run was world record.
Oh, really?
It's just it was just my style of training.
But have you now adapted to a new style that you maybe think that, okay, I'm gonna train so I can be regular in rounds?
Not really. I mean, the ZRT is also. I'm not training regular rounds at all.
Hmm.
And I'm doing practice matches, okay, some from time to time, but I'm not training. Like when I train alone, I'm not training finishing rounds most of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do it for the stream because they get bored when I don't finish for 45 minutes. But yeah,
Okay, so just before the qualification, there was this news that you were not gonna play with Wally and Badlu was not gonna play with Coco. But before that, I must see, or there must have been some sort of discussions within the duos, within the teams. How did you find out about? Okay, maybe I'm gonna find a new teammate that is more suitable to my level of training and has put in the same hours as me. How was the process there?
I was a little bit scared about Wally's training schedule and everything all the way to the event. I was scared like, oh no, why am I training so much if Wally can't keep up the maybe or something like this? I didn't know what was gonna happen. And then on, I think it was Tuesday night, I got at 2 a.m. I get a message from Lulu. Yo, didn't you say Wally wasn't training much? I think we could do way better together. Coco is also not playing so good, and this and this. And I said, okay, I will check back. Had a long talk with Wally about it and how he feels about it, if it's okay and stuff. He said like, it's okay to him. He was happy that we could talk this out as like gentlemen and so on. And yeah, then I contacted Lulu and everything started going off. Then there was a discussion with the team, obviously. I'm on the contract with Reflex for a year. And obviously they didn't want to lose their top player, their top streamer and stuff. So my manager wasn't able to solve the case. So Domingo actually had to go and talk to the owner of Reflex. And it took like 2 or 3 hours. And I got a message from Alpha Doom saying, I lost, sorry.
Oh.
Which meant I was going to PAX.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, and then, yeah, it's kind of, I think how it is right now, it's like when a football player is on loan.
Yeah.
Loan to PAX just for a ZRT Cup and so on.
So after this is over, you'll most likely go back to Reflex.
Exactly. I don't think Domingo is planning on keeping a team up all year. Anyway, so we'll have to see about that one.
Yeah, maybe you can keep him around for Trackmania Grand League as well, the playoffs that is yet to be announced.
Yeah, it's going to take a while until that's happening. But yeah, it will happen.
Yeah, but if you said that you had to talk with Wally for a long time. Do you feel like you do something wrong when you eventually had promised your teammate to play with him, or do you feel that this is more fair because you put in so many hours? The same was with Bad Lulu, and Coco and Wally didn't eventually put up the same training as you did.
I was thinking like this was kind of why I was disliking the duo format, because you had to rely on somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
And that's like, I wasn't sure about Wally and stuff, but I also said when Badludo came to me, I said to him, I will talk to Wally, and if he says no, he wants to play with me, then I'm gonna stick, because I can't do it to him, saying like 3 days before the event, no, sorry, I'm gonna play with Badludo. Yeah, couldn't do that, but yeah, we talked it out, and he was fine with it. So we just exchanged teammates, and he said he still wanted to go far in the tournament, and I mean they reached Sunday, Coco and Wally, so I guess this is pretty much what he could have hoped for with his the amount of training he put into the event.
Yeah.
So he still had his experience.
Yeah, and just after that it was announced, I mean, it was you and Scrappy was now one of the or you and Bad Lulu, sorry, was one of the bigger duos. You had Cole Jr. and Bren as maybe the biggest favorite, and then Pack and Norell as a top contender. But now there are, I would say, 3 big duos. How do you view the 8 duos going to Strasbourg? Would you say that anybody can win it? Do you think that there are a certain number of duos that can win it? How do you think it's going to play out in Strasbourg?
I mean, just looking at the performance from the qualifiers, it's it kind of seems like there are 3 teams a bit on top, like Carl, Bren, Orel Pag, and me and Lulu.
Yeah.
That we are a little bit above. Then I think Gwen and Wingo are close, and then sad to say, but the others are a little bit beneath on what they showed in the qualifier. But the stage is always a different environment. You can never tell what's gonna happen. How the different defeats are gonna impact the gameplay. Like when you have to play, when you have to switch PCs, when you have to play blindfolded. How is that gonna change stuff? It's not gonna matter too much because it's not a lot of points put into it, and like me and Lulu are not specific training this stuff. But yeah. But still, on stage, everything can change. The pressure is high, especially high for Carl and Bren this year. Everybody is expected to win, so the pressure must be enormous for them. And it was visible in the last round of the qualifier that they were not playing up to their normal level. So, yeah.
But do you think that is a good thing for yourself now that you have this big duo in Carl Jr. and Bren that is the most successful players in the history of this cup? And you are one of the best besides them, so they take away much of the spotlight. You can just relax and maybe surprise people that say, okay, I can also beat them, but you have the casual fans that just expect, okay, Carl Jr. is going to win once again.
Yeah, I mean, they take a lot of pressure away, but still, this year with joining Team PAX, the pressure is a little higher, because I think safe to say that we have the second highest fan base, or maybe because of the Zealand, Wingo has a bigger one, but I think Domingo's fans are gonna overweight it a little bit. But yeah, still, I mean, the pressure is on Carl Jr. and Brand, less on us. So I'm hoping they have problems with the pressure, so it's get a little easier for us. But yeah.
But you have been in the offline finals before. Was it like you heard people cheer for you, or was it just cheering for French people and, of course, Carl Jr. because they view him as a French people or a French player almost?
Well, being in the arena there, you cannot compete with the level of cheers the French people receive, and especially Carl and Brent because they were playing for ZRT team in that year. This was just completely different. Obviously, as I see in my Twitter feed and streams, I have a lot of Belgian guys going there cheering for me. That's kind of my thing, that there are Belgians there. Because they can speak French, but for the non-French players, the cheers are really minimal. Because, you know, the show is in French, everything. So why would there be a lot of fans cheering for non-French players? It doesn't make sense. That's just how it feels on stage.
Yeah. So do you have anything that you want to accomplish in Strasbourg before you leave that city happy, or are you just saying, okay, it's going to be a cool experience no matter what?
No, I definitely want to reach the final and then at least put up a good fight against the top teams. Like I'm expecting to have Carl, Bren and Aurel Peck going out of the other semi-final into the final. So yeah, I'm expecting a great show there.
Yeah, that's for sure. But if you don't succeed here, you have another opportunity later on in the year. We briefly touched upon it. It's the Trackmania Grand League playoffs. There is no public information yet, but I've seen that Spam, he said that he cannot attend, so I assume that players at least know it. But going into that Grand League playoff, do you have expectations of winning it? Because you certainly have the level of winning it, right?
Yeah, I can be really, really strong on maps. I've seen in the weeks where I was actually motivated to no-life the maps. Obviously, I had like the chokes I did in some of the weeks really made me depressed and really felt bad. But I mean, I have the level. I can try to compete. I want to try and compete with Carl and Peg on top because they were, as seen, obviously a little bit above the others in that competition. I mean, in the weeks where I really trained, I was up the level, but it was mostly the first weeks. So it can be that they got way better at this stuff in the later weeks where I was not able to compete. Pretty high level. I also missed a lot of stuff. I think I didn't play 3 times, and still got 4th in the end.
But do you have any goals in the group stage? Was it like many just to be top 8 because then you know that, okay, if there is going to be this playoff, we need to be top 8? Or did you try as much as you could to actually win it all, or didn't you care about that?
I was not motivated to win it all. Otherwise I would have maybe found ways to play those dates where I didn't play. Skip uni for that, but I didn't. in the end, then when Softy came to us with all the announcement and stuff, what is going to happen, playoffs, so on. Like, it didn't really release concrete information, but like step 9, I was motivated again. Step 10, I was really motivated to get a nice. First of all, there was a lot of money in the top 8, so I obviously wanted to have a good place there, and also. Like, the biggest reason was I wanted to stay in the top 8 because he announced there are going to be playoffs. They will happen, and there will be a big thing. And so I said, yeah, top 8 has to be it for me. Then yeah, last week went really well.
But as a player in such a prestigious tournament, it must be frustrating to know, okay, we know that this is a group stage, we know that there are talks about the playoffs, but we have no idea what the potential dates are. You have Bren, who is moving to Australia. I believe Spam said he cannot attend because he has booked a vacation. How do you feel that the Trackmania Grand League so far is being handled by the admins? Could it have been better? Are you happy? Are you pleased? From a player perspective, how do you feel it's going?
Yeah, it's really weird experience. I mean, Nadir didn't really plan ahead there. They didn't think of it. They announced the players in the first rulebook they published. They said there's going to be playoffs, and it was announced. But why don't they plan? Why don't they have dates that players can know before qualifying? It doesn't make sense. Like, attending an event when you don't know when the final is just, it doesn't work. It's like now there's this Spheris Cup. I know when the final is, and I know I for sure can't play that date, so I'm not going to bother even qualifying for it. It's bad to qualify for something you know you go. If you don't know when it is,
as well, right?
Yeah, really lacks professionality there in the beginning, and it's not better now. I mean, even in the beginning, Nadir tried to fix all the problems with the game. They were really active. And then, like, after 3 weeks or so, they completely disappeared. There's not been a single message by Nadir in the Discord at all, answering anything. It's really weird.
I put out a post, I believe, that this is the biggest tournament since 2008 in terms of prize pool, and I said that players have been paid out. But then I got contacted by some players saying, "Oh, you put out the wrong information. We have not been paid out. Have you received any money from this event so far?"
No, but wait, I think Softy said it will be paid at the end of this month.
Okay.
But they have not even asked for any information where to send the money yet. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that's something in progress. But during this group stage, we saw that you had some problems, I believe, with your controller as well as maybe your internet. How do you handle when you play such a tournament where if you disconnect on map 5 or if you have a problem with your controller on map 5, the whole step is basically wasted, the whole week of training is basically wasted. How does this affect your mentality?
Yeah, it's really depressing when stuff like that happens. I was so down after the first week. I got cheered up a little bit when Softy then announced that you get 100 euros for every first place you got, because I actually won 2 maps that week. But yeah, it was really not good, and the problems just kept coming. I had internet problems, my controller broke down, my PC broke down, I couldn't play anymore. Everything was going to shit.
But are you looking to improve? I mean, a PC is a big expense and probably fixing your internet as well, but a controller should be somewhat doable to buy. Are you looking to buy something new, or are you hoping that this will fix? Are you saving money for something else? Can you tell us, are you planning on fixing this?
I fixed all my problems I had. I bought a new controller pretty much instantly. I think I played the last 2 weeks with a new controller, or maybe only the final week actually.
Okay.
I bought a PC about 4 weeks or 3 to 4 weeks ago for a lot of money. I spent my whole money that I won.
Oh really?
TRGL is already pre-spent, financed by my. I mean, my parents loaned me the money, and I will pay them back with the TMGL money. Hopefully, I received that one.
Hopefully, it comes, right?
And that's when I had a new PC. First day trying it out, it instantly crashes while opening Rocket League. I was already furious. I think I have fixed the problem right now. Yeah.
But then, go ahead.
I mean, it was such a stressful time. Like, the internet problem is not resolvable here.
Yeah.
Vodafone just internet provider I have here just kept telling me they can't do anything about it. They don't own the actual cable to fix it. They don't have the servers to fix it, and they have no other way of getting it. And they also told me it wouldn't matter if I get a different provider. It would still be the same cable that leads to my house here in Germany, and it will always be fucked up. So yeah.
Okay, so if you take away these problems that you had and this unannounced information, how would you say that the Trackmania Grand League is helping out Trackmania? Is this the event that this game needs to eventually take the next step into a competitive scene, into the esport world? Or do you see any other event that can be a better front runner?
I'm sorry?
Do you agree with Trackmania Grand League being the event that Trackmania needs for moving forward? Do you see other events being better than Trackmania Grand League? What is the event that we should focus on moving forward?
No, it is the event that should be moving forward here. I'm just a bit disappointed about the style. I mean, they could have done it way better. I mean, the style is actually okay, but the point system isn't, and it's just really weird to have this as the top competition mania, where even casual fans, like I watched a lot of Trudik's streams when he streamed it and explained it to his viewers, and they were all like, what is this system? This makes no sense at all. It's unfair. It's not rewarding at all, and yeah, even the casual viewers noticed that, and I don't know. They have to rethink this, I think, but Softy already told us they want system, so guess we're going with that one.
Yeah, what do you hear if you say, I mean, in the Discord channel, if people bring up some questions, if some problems, then this argument comes up, okay, we care about what the players think, they are the important voices here. But do you feel that you have been heard this season, or are they like, okay, we're just testing it, it's this casual, it's just a beta season, let us test it, and then, do you feel that you have been heard at all this season?
They promised us that they would listen to what the players think improve, because it's a better season and everything like that. But they said it, they took our opinions, they talked with us, they want to know what do the actual 16 players think. We gave all the information. We didn't talk directly to Nadeo, but to Softy, who then had to bring it to them. And yeah, we came up with good ideas on new systems that would work a bit better, a bit less punishing maybe. Softy also agreed on that, and then the other players agreed, and we said, yeah, hopefully Nadeo will accept this. Next day comes back, or the next interview before the step, like we always had a little meeting 1 hour before the step. And then comes a message, yeah, Nadeo told us they are not changing anything. And we were wondering why. Yeah, the viewer numbers were going great. Yeah, because Solary was broadcast. They also told us they had polls where the fans voted that this would be, I don't know what it was. There was something. Yeah, the fans voted this is the best and entertaining way to represent this.
Oh, really?
And we were like, this can't be real. Yeah, nobody is voting for that. This is completely faked. But yeah, it was not like we weren't really heard. We did a little bit at the beginning, but then, as I said, Nadeo went dark and didn't communicate anymore. I mean, for step 9, they didn't even show up to fix the server.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I have asked some questions here, but is there any topics in your career that maybe some people that might not know about you? Is there some stories that you feel, okay, it's a funny story, but people don't know about it? Is there something I forgot to bring up in this podcast?
Not really. I mean, what has not got much attention is that I'm also active, or I was an very active RPG player in tournaments and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's
I played
true,
a lot of little streamer cups as well, like Ceramix cups so on. But yeah, there's another story with that. With the Draconia with holding my money.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
to talk to John in Strasbourg then.
I have no idea what I know. Like they're somebody, I don't know who, but somebody's owing me $100 and I don't know who it is. So Mix told me the money came from Nadeo, and Nadeo paid Draconia, and then
it stopped there.
Yeah, it stopped there.
Oh.
But they say, yeah, there's new regulations in France, we can't not pay you out. Yes, sure.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Meanwhile, I'm playing, I don't know, it was Micro Machine Cup, and the guy just gives me the money for the tournament second place or something in 20 minutes after the tournament.
Yeah, that's my guy CC in Huntmania, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
But like, this was weird.
time to investigate on that Draconia.
I don't know who has the money. Maybe Nadeo just kept it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Like they will do with the Grand League, you know.
Yeah, exactly. They're just running off with that one. That's why Hillis is on a 3-month vacation.
But yeah, thanks for stepping up, and hopefully I will see you in Strasbourg if I end up going there, and if not, best of luck to you in that final, and hopefully someone else than Carl Jr. can win it for once, right?
Exactly. Hoping for a great show, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you for stepping up, man. Bye bye.